Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these top 10 rare Abraham Lincoln pennies that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we've got a coin that's been quietly sitting in your pocket or possibly hiding in your collection, waiting to be discovered. It's the United States 1-cent coin from 1975, but don't let its humble appearance fool you. This little penny could be worth much more than you might think. Stick around because the value of this coin might just leave you speechless. The 1975 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, was minted during a time when America was experiencing significant changes. The country had just emerged from the tumultuous 1960s, and the 1970s were marked by economic shifts, inflation, and the lingering effects of the Vietnam War. It was also the year when the U.S. Mint began producing coins with a new approach to design and manufacturing, setting the stage for a generation of pennies that would become highly collectible. But here's the twist: although the 1975 penny was struck in large numbers, some of them, in pristine condition, have now become extremely rare and valuable. Like other pennies from the era, the 1975 coin features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's portrait is surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty, and the Year of Minting." It's a design that has become ingrained in American culture. On the reverse side, we see the Union Shield with 13 stripes, a representation of the original American colonies and the strength of the Union. A symbol of national unity, this shield has always carried weight and pride, though the true value of this particular penny lies in something far less visible: its rarity. You might be wondering, why is the 1975 penny so valuable? After all, it's just a 1-cent coin. Well, it's all about condition and minting errors. While the U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies, not all were created equal. Some of them were struck with flaws, slight misprints, minting defects, or other unique characteristics that make them rare. But here's where things get interesting: the 1975 penny with a double die error is the real treasure. What does that mean? It means the coin was struck twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and date. This error makes these coins incredibly valuable to collectors, especially those in top-tier condition. If you're lucky enough to have one of these pennies in your collection, you might have just stumbled upon a hidden gem. So, why are collectors willing to pay top dollar for this seemingly ordinary penny? First, there's the historical significance. The 1970s were a transformative decade, and coins from that era are fascinating relics of a changing world. But most importantly, rarity drives up demand. Finding a 1975 penny in perfect or near-perfect condition, especially one with a double die error, is becoming increasingly difficult as time passes. It's the type of coin that can take you by surprise, often passed over by casual collectors, yet sought after by those who know exactly what to look for. So, what's the actual value of this elusive 1975 penny? Are you sitting down? Because a flawless 1975 penny, especially one with that double die error, could be worth an astonishing $54,000. That's right, $54,000 for a penny. It's incredible, isn't it? So, if you've got any old pennies lying around, take a moment to check their condition. You might be holding onto a small fortune without even knowing it. If you enjoyed learning about the rare 1975 penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a hidden treasure in the world of rare coins. Top 2 video, we're diving into a coin you might have just forgotten about, the United States 1-cent coin from 1979. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny, but trust me, it's got a story, and a price tag, that'll surprise you. Stay tuned to the end to find out just how much this little penny could be worth today. The 1979 penny was minted during a time of change in the United States. The late 70s were filled with cultural shifts, political changes, and economic turbulence. The U.S. Mint was in the process of transitioning from older coin designs to new ones, with the introduction of new technologies and advancements in the production process. It was also a time when inflation was creeping up and the economy was going through a bit of a rough patch, but as the world around it was evolving, this humble 1-cent coin from 1979 would go on to become much more than just a piece of currency. It would become a collector's dream. The 1979 penny, like most U.S. pennies, features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile has graced the penny since 1909, making it one of the most iconic images in American numismatic history. Surrounding Lincoln are the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and, of course, the year of minting, 1979. The reverse side of the coin showcases the Union shield, with 13 stripes representing the original American colonies and a symbol of national unity. It's a design that has remained a staple of U.S. pennies, yet it's the rarity and condition of the 1979 penny that can truly make it stand out in a collection. You might be thinking, it's just a regular penny, right? Well, not quite. The real magic of the 1979 penny lies in a specific minting error that makes it highly desirable among collectors. One of the most valuable versions of the 1979 penny is the 1979 wide AM error penny. The key difference here is in the space between the letters A and M in America on the reverse side of the coin. On regular pennies, these letters are tightly spaced. But on the wide AM error pennies, there's a noticeable gap between them, something that was only found on a limited number of coins during the minting process. This minting error is extremely rare, and because of it, the 1979 wide AM penny has become a highly sought-after piece for serious collectors. So why is this particular 1979 penny so valuable? Simple: rarity and condition. The 1979 wide AM error is one of the most famous mistakes in modern U.S. coinage, and finding one in top condition can be like stumbling upon a pot of gold. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin is paramount. The higher the grade, meaning fewer signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, the more valuable the coin becomes. Many of the 1979 pennies were circulated heavily, and finding one in mint or near mint condition, especially with the wide AM error, is a major win for collectors. So, what's this rare and unique penny worth? Here's the big reveal: if you have a 1979 wide AM penny in excellent condition, you could be holding on to an incredible $51,000, that's right, $51,000 for a single penny. Who would have thought that a small, everyday coin could hold such a huge value? So, the next time you're going through your change or digging through your collection, make sure to take a closer look at those 1979 pennies. You just might be holding on to a small fortune. Top 3, we're going to be talking about something that might be sitting in your collection right now, a coin that's easy to overlook, but could be worth a small fortune. We're talking about the 1981 1-cent coin, also known as the humble penny. Now, you might think this is just another everyday coin, but trust me, there's much more to this penny than meets the eye. Stick around because you won't believe what this 1981 penny could be worth. The 1981 penny was minted during a time when America was facing significant economic challenges. The early 80s saw high inflation rates, interest rates skyrocketing, and the U.S. was coming out of a recession. But while the economy was struggling, something interesting was happening in the world of coinage. The U.S. Mint was still producing millions of pennies, including the 1981 1-cent coin, which featured the well-known image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. Though it was produced in high numbers and spent by millions of Americans in the years following, one particular version of this penny has become incredibly rare, and highly sought after, by collectors. Just like other pennies from the era, the 1981 penny features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front. This image has been a part of American currency since 1909, making it one of the most recognized coin designs in history. Around Lincoln's portrait, you'll find the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and of course, the year of minting, 1981. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the Union shield, representing the strength of the United States and its original colonies. It's a design that conveys unity and pride in the nation, a symbol that's been central to the penny's imagery for decades. Now, here's the twist that makes this penny so special: minting errors. While the 1981 penny was struck in large numbers, one of the most important things collectors look for is any potential flaws or mistakes during the minting process. And the 1981 penny has a particularly famous error that could be worth a significant amount of money. The 1981 copper penny is the real treasure here. Most pennies from 1981 were minted with a zinc core and copper plating, but some of them were mistakenly struck using pure copper, the same material that was used in pennies before 1982. These copper pennies are rare, and because of the mistake in the minting process, they are incredibly valuable. So, why are collectors so eager to get their hands on the 1981 copper penny? It's simple: rarity and historical significance. Since most 1981 pennies were made with the newer zinc-copper alloy, finding one that's made entirely of copper is like finding a needle in a haystack. The copper versions of these pennies were made in error and were quickly phased out of circulation, making them highly desirable for anyone who collects US coins. As with any collectible coin, condition is key. The higher the grade of the coin, meaning fewer scratches, wear, or discoloration, the more valuable it becomes. So, if you happen to have a mint condition copper 1981 penny, it could be worth a small fortune. So, what's the value of this rare 1981 copper penny? If you have one in pristine condition, you could be sitting on an incredible $48,000, that's right, $48,000 for a single penny. Who would have thought that something as small and simple as a 1981 penny could carry such a hefty price tag? So, next time you're sorting through your change or digging through your coin collection, take a close look at your 1981 pennies. You could be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 4, we've got a coin that could be sitting right in your pocket or tucked away in your collection, and it might be worth more than you ever imagined. It's the 1974 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that could actually be a rare treasure. You definitely want to stick around because you'll be shocked at just how much this penny could be worth today. Let's dive in. The 1974 penny was minted during an interesting time in American history. The US was dealing with high inflation and the effects of the Vietnam War, and the country was in the middle of an economic slump. But even as inflation soared, the US Mint was still busy cranking out pennies, including the 1974 1-cent coin, a coin that, like many others from this era, may seem like just another piece of pocket change. However, this penny, with its famous Abraham Lincoln portrait, holds more value than most people realize. The real treasure lies in rarity and unique minting errors that make this coin stand out from the rest. The design of the 1974 penny is the classic one we all recognize. On the obverse side, we have the image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile has graced the penny since 1909, making it one of the most iconic portraits in U.S. coinage history. Around Lincoln's bust, you'll find the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and of course, the year of minting, 1974. On the reverse side of the coin, we see the Union Shield, which has symbolized American strength and unity since 1959. The design features 13 stripes representing the original colonies, as well as a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, emblems of peace and defense. But while the design is iconic, the value of the 1974 penny comes from something else entirely: rare minting errors that make some of these pennies worth a fortune. So what's so special about the 1974 penny? The answer lies in a famous minting error that's turned some of these seemingly ordinary pennies into highly valuable collectibles. The most well-known of these errors is the 1974 double-die obverse penny. What does that mean? Well, during the minting process, some pennies were struck with a double impression, creating a doubling effect on the lettering, date, and even Lincoln's portrait. This error is noticeable with a blurry or doubled image, and it can be a huge indicator that your penny is much more valuable than a regular 1974 coin. The double-die error isn't something that happens with every penny, which is why these coins are so rare. A flawless 1974 double-die penny in good condition can be worth serious money, and collectors are always on the lookout for them. Why are collectors so keen on finding a 1974 double-die penny? It's all about the rarity of the error and the condition of the coin. While most 1974 pennies were minted and circulated like any regular penny, those that have the double die error stand out. Collectors know that finding one of these in excellent condition is a big win, especially because they're hard to come by. The demand for these rare error coins has skyrocketed in recent years, and it's only expected to grow. The 1974 double die penny represents a unique chapter in U.S. coinage, and owning one is like holding a piece of American history, and a pretty valuable one at that. So, what's the value of a 1974 double die penny? Hold on to your hats because the value is absolutely jaw-dropping. If you have a flawless 1974 double die penny, especially one in near mint condition, you could be looking at a coin worth an incredible $54,000. Yes, you heard that right, $54,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how something as small as a 1974 penny can have such a massive value if it's the right kind of rare find. So, before you toss those old pennies aside, take a closer look. Your next $54,000 penny could be hiding in plain sight. Top 5, we're diving into a coin you might not think twice about, a simple 1993 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might just seem like another ordinary penny, but trust me, this little coin could be worth a small fortune. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll be shocked to find out just how much your 1993 penny could be worth today. You won't want to miss it. The 1993 1-cent coin might not have made headlines when it was first released, but it was minted during a fascinating time in American history. The U.S. was coming out of a recession and was experiencing economic recovery in the early 90s. During this time, the penny still featured the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Union Shield on the reverse. As with every coin, millions of 1993 pennies were produced and circulated. However, hidden among these billions of pennies are a select few that have become rare and highly valuable due to minting errors. This is where the 1993 penny becomes more than just pocket change. The 1993 penny design is just like the one we've all come to know and love. On the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's portrait, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty, and the Year of Minting, 1993. The reverse side features the Union Shield, a symbol of the country's strength and unity, with 13 stripes representing the original colonies. But while this design is iconic, what makes the 1993 penny unique is that not all of them are created equal. Some have been struck with minting errors that have made them incredibly valuable for collectors. So, what's the big deal with the 1993 penny? Well, it's all about errors. While most pennies from 1993 were struck with the usual clarity, a rare error penny from this year could make you a fortune. The most valuable 1993 pennies are those that have striking errors, specifically double die or off-center errors. For example, a double die error occurs when the coin is struck twice during the minting process, causing the image to appear doubled. This could happen with the date or the lettering around Lincoln's portrait. These types of errors are rare and are highly sought after by collectors. Another error type that can make the 1993 penny more valuable is the off-center error, where the coin was not properly aligned when it was struck, making the design appear misaligned. Why are collectors so eager to find a 1993 penny? It's all about rarity and the unique characteristics these error coins bring to the table. Error coins like the double die or off-center 1993 pennies are incredibly rare and difficult to find in good condition. And as with any collectible coin, the condition plays a huge role in how much it's worth. The more pristine the condition, the higher the value. Some collectors go as far as seeking out these specific error coins in uncirculated or mint condition, which can dramatically increase their worth. If you happen to have a double die or off-center 1993 penny, especially one in top condition, you could be holding on to something that's worth way more than you think. So, what's this rare 1993 penny worth? Are you ready for the big reveal? If you happen to have a double die error penny or an off-center 1993 penny in excellent condition, you could be sitting on an incredible $43,000. Yes, you heard that right, $43,000 for a single penny. It's incredible how something as small as a 1993 penny could have such a huge value, all thanks to a rare minting error. So, the next time you're going through your change or sorting through your collection, take a closer look at your 1993 pennies. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 6, we're going to talk about a coin that might be sitting right in your pocket, the 1998 1-cent coin. Now, you might think, it's just another penny, but trust me, this coin has some serious value if you know what to look for. Stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll be shocked at just how much your 1998 penny could be worth. Let's dive in. The 1998 penny might seem like just another year in the long line of penny mintings, but it was actually produced during an interesting time in American history. The US was experiencing economic growth in the late 90s, the dot-com boom was in full swing, and the world was on the brink of a new millennium. The US Mint was still producing millions of pennies each year, including the 1998 1-cent coin, but what most people didn't realize is that there were some hidden treasures among these millions of pennies. Most of the 1998 pennies were made as part of the regular minting process, but there are a few key errors and varieties that make certain 1998 pennies highly valuable to collectors. Like all pennies minted since 1909, the 1998 penny features the image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This iconic portrait of Lincoln has become one of the most recognized images in U.S. coinage. Surrounding Lincoln's profile, you'll see the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and of course, the year of minting, 1998. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar Union Shield, a symbol of strength and unity in the United States, with 13 stripes representing the original 13 colonies. At first glance, this might seem like a typical penny, right? Well, here's the catch: not all 1998 pennies are created equal. So, what makes the 1998 penny different from all the other pennies out there? It's all about the minting errors and rarity. While most of the 1998 pennies were minted with the standard design, a few rare mistakes occurred during the production process, making certain pennies highly sought after by collectors. One of the most valuable types of 1998 pennies is the wide AM penny. This penny features a noticeable gap between the A and M in America on the reverse side. Normally, these letters are very close together, but in the wide AM variety, the spacing is much wider. This minting error occurred in just a small number of coins, and finding one in top condition is extremely rare. There are also other variations, such as the double die error or off-center strikes, which could add to a 1998 penny's value. So, why are collectors so eager to find the 1998 penny with these rare minting errors? It's because of their scarcity and the unique characteristics they bring to a coin collection. The wide AM error in particular is highly coveted. Since only a small number of these coins were struck, they are very hard to find. When collectors do find one, they often want to add it to their collection at any cost. Plus, the condition of the coin is critical. A penny that's been kept in mint condition, free from wear and tear, can fetch a much higher price in the marketplace. So, how much could your 1998 penny be worth? If you have a 1998 wide AM penny or another rare minting error from this year in excellent condition, you could be sitting on an incredible $40,000. Yes, you heard it right, $40,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how a small piece of copper could carry such a hefty price tag, but that's the power of rare coin collecting. So, the next time you're going through your change, make sure to take a closer look at those 1998 pennies. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 7, we've got a special treat for you, a coin that might just be sitting in your change jar right now. It's the 1991 1-cent coin, a penny that you probably think is worth just 1 cent, but guess what? This little penny might be worth way more than you ever imagined. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much a 1991 penny could fetch on the market. Let's jump in. The 1991 penny was minted during a period when the US was experiencing a recession. The early 90s were marked by high unemployment and slow economic growth. But the US Mint was still hard at work producing millions of pennies each year, including the 1991 1-cent coin. It was the same Abraham Lincoln design that has been used on pennies since 1909, featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse, a symbol of unity and strength. Now, on the surface, the 1991 penny may seem like just another coin from a busy era in U.S. history, but it's hiding a secret that only collectors know about. Let's take a closer look at what makes the 1991 penny special. Like all pennies minted during this era, the 1991 penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. This image of Lincoln has been on the penny since 1909, making it one of the most enduring and recognizable designs in U.S. coinage. Around Lincoln's portrait, you'll find the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and of course, the year of minting, 1991. On the reverse side of the penny, there's the Union shield, a symbol of unity and strength, introduced in 1959. This design represents the nation's founding and its enduring values of peace and defense. But here's the thing, while this is the classic penny design, there's something about the 1991 penny that makes it stand out, especially if you're lucky enough to own one with a rare error. So, what's the big deal about the 1991 penny? It's all about the minting errors. While the vast majority of 1991 pennies were minted perfectly, a few rare errors have turned up, making this coin worth much more than you might think. One of the most famous errors from the 1991 penny is the double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die, causing a double impression of the design. This can affect the date, the lettering, or even Abraham Lincoln's portrait itself. If you come across a 1991 penny with a clear double die error, it could be worth thousands. Another potential error to watch for is the off-center strike, where the coin was misaligned when struck, leaving the design off-center. These misprints are also highly desirable to collectors because of their rarity and the uniqueness of each off-center penny. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that feature minting errors. Why? Because they're rare, one-of-a-kind pieces that set a coin apart from the rest. The 1991 penny, especially one with a double die or off-center error, is a highly coveted item for collectors. As with any rare coin, the condition is everything. A well-preserved, error-free coin will naturally be more valuable, but one with a minting mistake in pristine condition? Now that's a real treasure. The 1991 penny is a perfect example of how something as simple as a small mistake during minting can create a coin worth far more than face value. So, next time you're going through your change, keep an eye out for those rare and valuable errors. They might be worth far more than you think. So, how much could your 1991 penny be worth? If you happen to have a double die error or off-center 1991 penny in excellent condition, you could be holding a coin worth an incredible $43,000, that's right, $43,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how a tiny coin can turn into such a valuable treasure, all thanks to a rare minting error. So, before you toss out those 1991 pennies, take a closer look. You could be sitting on a goldmine. Top 8. We've got a very special coin that could be worth far more than you might expect. It's the 1995 1-cent coin, a penny that's probably sitting in your change jar right now, but it might be hiding a huge value. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much a 1995 penny could be worth. Let's get started. The 1995 penny was minted at a time when the U.S. economy was experiencing a period of recovery after the early 90s recession. The 1995 1-cent coin continued to feature the iconic Abraham Lincoln design, created by Victor David Brenner. Minted at the height of the 90s, this penny is often overlooked as just another coin from that era. But what makes this particular penny special is the rarity and minting errors that are hidden among the millions of coins produced that year. While most 1995 pennies are still worth only 1 cent, certain versions can be worth thousands, and in some cases, tens of thousands of dollars. So, let's dive in and uncover what makes this penny so sought after by collectors. The design of the 1995 penny is pretty standard, featuring the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, along with the familiar inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1995. Lincoln has been featured on the penny since 1909, making it one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage. On the reverse side, we see the Union Shield, which has symbolized America's unity and strength since its introduction in 1959. The shield is flanked by 13 stripes, representing the original colonies, and the phrase, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. While these designs are beautiful and meaningful, the real value of the 1995 penny lies in certain minting errors that make some pennies from this year extraordinarily rare. So, what makes the 1995 penny stand out? Minting errors are the key to its value. The most valuable 1995 pennies are the ones that have striking errors, specifically the double die error or off-center strikes. One of the most famous errors that can occur during minting is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a double impression of the design. In a 1995 penny, this might mean doubled lettering or a doubled date. If you find a 1995 penny with this error, it could be worth significantly more than face value. Another possible error to watch for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in the design being shifted off-center. These coins are highly desirable because they are unique, and the misaligned design makes them stand out from the regular coins. These types of errors are rare, which is what makes them so valuable. While most 1995 pennies were struck perfectly, a select few were struck with these mistakes that could be worth a small fortune. Collectors love error coins because they're one of a kind and represent something out of the ordinary. A 1995 penny with a double die error or off-center strike is a highly coveted collectible, and finding one in excellent condition can make all the difference. The rarity of these errors, combined with the growing demand for rare U.S. coins, has led to an increase in their value over the years. The 1995 penny is a perfect example of how something as simple as a minting error can transform an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after treasure. So, how much could your 1995 penny be worth? If you have a 1995 penny with a double die error or an off-center strike in great condition, you could be looking at a coin worth an astonishing $39,000, that's right, $39,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how a tiny piece of copper can be worth so much, all because of a rare minting error. So, before you toss those 1995 pennies aside, take a closer look. You might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. Top 9, we've got a penny in the spotlight that you might have tossed aside without a second thought, the 1996 1-cent coin. But hold on a second, this penny might be worth way more than you think. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be stunned by just how much your 1996 penny could be worth today. Let's get started. The 1996 penny was minted during an exciting time in U.S. history. The country was in the middle of the 1990s economic boom, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies each year. The design of the 1996 penny is just like any other penny, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse, symbols of the country's unity and strength. While most of these pennies were minted as part of the regular production process, hidden among them are some rare errors that have turned a simple 1996 penny into a highly valuable treasure. You might not realize it, but if you've got a rare error penny from 1996, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The 1996 penny features the classic Abraham Lincoln design on the front, created by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's portrait is surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1996. This iconic design has been on the penny since 1909, making it one of the most enduring images in U.S. coinage. On the reverse, we see the Union Shield, a symbol of the strength and unity of the United States. It was introduced in 1959 to represent the nation's founding and the protection of liberty. The 1996 penny was part of a long line of coins bearing this design, but as we're about to find out, some 1996 pennies were struck with a twist, a minting mistake that could turn your ordinary penny into a valuable rarity. So, what makes the 1996 penny worth so much more than face value? Minting errors. While most of the 1996 pennies were produced without issue, a small percentage of these coins feature rare and valuable errors that collectors are dying to get their hands on. One of the most notable errors is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, causing the design to appear doubled, whether it's the year, the letters, or even Lincoln's portrait. This error is extremely rare and makes any 1996 penny with a double die strike worth far more than just 1 cent. Another potential error to watch out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in a misaligned design. These pennies are also highly collectible because they are one of a kind, and no two off-center strikes are exactly the same. But that's not all. Uncirculated 1996 pennies, even those without errors, can also be highly desirable if they've been preserved in excellent condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have minting errors because they're rare, unique, and often highly valuable. The 1996 penny with errors is a perfect example of how something as simple as a minting mistake can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Since so few of these error coins were produced, they've become highly sought after, and the rarity of a 1996 penny with a double die or off-center strike increases its appeal even further. The 1996 penny is a perfect example of how a coin can be worth so much more than just its face value, especially if it's in pristine condition or has a rare minting error. So, how much could your 1996 penny be worth? If you happen to have a 1996 penny with a double die error, off-center strike, or one in perfect uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on an incredible $37,000, yes, that's right, $37,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something as small as a 1996 penny could have such a huge value, but that's the magic of rare minting errors. So, before you toss those 1996 pennies into your jar, take a second look. They could be worth a lot more than you think. Top 10 and last rare penny. We're going to talk about a penny you probably have in your pocket right now, the 1983 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another regular penny, but hold on. This little coin could be worth way more than you think. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll be shocked at just how much your 1983 penny could be worth. Let's get into it. The 1983 penny is a part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The year 1983 was a significant one in U.S. history as the economy was in the middle of a recovery after the early 80s recession, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies each year. But what makes the 1983 penny stand out isn't just its design or its time period, it's something much rarer and more valuable hiding inside these coins. In fact, there are certain 1983 pennies that can be worth a fortune to collectors. So, let's take a closer look and uncover the hidden value of the 1983 1-cent coin. The 1983 penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Since 1909, this image has been on every U.S. penny, making it one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. Surrounding Lincoln's face are the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and of course, the year 1983. On the reverse, we see the familiar Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and national pride. The reverse design was first introduced in 1959 and continued until 2008, when it was replaced by the Union Shield. But just like other coins, the 1983 penny could have been struck with minor mistakes or rare errors that make it extremely valuable to collectors. So, what's the secret behind the 1983 penny that makes it so special? It's all about the minting errors. While most of the 1983 pennies were struck perfectly, a small number of them have rare minting mistakes that make them extremely valuable. One of the biggest factors in the 1983 penny's value is the metal composition. In 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from using 95% copper to 97.5% zinc for penny production. However, during the transition period, some 1983 pennies were accidentally struck using copper planchets, the metal intended for earlier years. This means that a 1983 copper penny is actually an error coin, and it's incredibly rare. The copper version of the 1983 penny looks exactly the same as the zinc pennies, but it's made from a much heavier and more valuable metal. If you find a 1983 copper penny, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands of dollars. Aside from the copper-zinc mix-up, there are other rare minting errors that make certain 1983 pennies valuable, including double die errors, where the design is doubled, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. Each of these errors makes the coin unique, and collectors are always looking for coins with such anomalies to complete their collections. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for error coins because they are unique, rare, and highly desirable. The 1983 copper penny is one of the most valuable error coins of the 1980s because of its unexpected metal composition. It's essentially a throwback to pre-1982 pennies, when pennies were made mostly of copper. Coins with double die errors, off-center strikes, or other rare features are also worth far more than their face value because they're not just rare, they're one of a kind. For collectors, finding a 1983 copper penny or a rare minting error is like hitting the jackpot. That's why the 1983 penny is so highly sought after, and why it's a must-have for any serious collector's portfolio. So, how much could your 1983 penny be worth? If you happen to have a 1983 copper penny, or one with a double die error or other rare minting mistakes in good condition, you could be sitting on a coin worth an incredible $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single penny. It's unbelievable how a small piece of copper or zinc could hold such a huge value, but that's the world of rare coins. So, before you toss those 1983 pennies in your change jar, take a closer look. You might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.